Okay, so in today's video, I want to talk about this. This is the Drone Terraplane, and I purchased this from Quad Standard Labs. Now, I've been flying this for a couple of weeks now, and it's replaced this. This is my Drone Squirt, and I've done a lot of flights, a lot of videos with this, and it has been my favorite CineWhoop of all time. Has been. Until I started flying this. So in today's video, I want to talk about what I love so much about the Terraplane and why it's going to be replacing my Drone Squirt. Let's get started. What's going on, everybody? Ken here, you're watching OriginaldoBo. Today's video, we're talking about this. This is the Drone Terraplane. It is a really robust CineWhoop, and it's hard to actually call it a CineWhoop because it does not fly like a CineWhoop. So for starters, I did not build this. I purchased this from Quad Standard Labs. Now the key word is I purchased this just like anybody else. So this is not a sponsored or paid video, and I didn't tell Troy over there that I was going to be making or reviewing this product. I'm just really happy with it, so I want to talk about it. So I called him up it was like a month and a half ago, and I told him, I said, I have this job that I'm doing, and it's going to involve flying in and out of buildings, but I also am going to be caught in the crosshairs of buildings outside, and I need something that's going to, not get pushed around so much by the wind. And he had recommended I look at the Terraplane, and if I wanted one, he has one that was ready to ship. So I went ahead and ordered it, and when I first started flying it, I was really uncomfortable with it. And I think I was so uncomfortable with it was because it didn't fly like a CineWhoop. Like a CineWhoop, you really have to give it a lot of throttle to get it to lift, even just a GoPro some cases. But this, it was like flying a 5-inch, and it threw me off when I was first flying it because it really did fly like a 5-inch. It had the power and flexibility of a 5-inch, but the safety and precision of a CineWhoop. So it took me a little bit to understand the throttle, and once I did, it's been absolutely amazing. So really quickly, I want to talk about what makes the Terraplane so special. So let's just go ahead and break down the specifications on this first. So firstly, the secret sauce really comes in play of the motors. This is running some X-Nova 2207 2600 kV motors. Now I'm also running this with 6S. So you're probably thinking to yourself, wait a second, you're running these with 6S 2600 kV motors. How does this thing not blow up? And you know what? I have no freaking idea how this doesn't blow up, because every single time I land with these, the motors are cool to the touch. They're never hot. They're never warm. I've flown CineWhoop after CineWhoop, and I've had so many that have had really hot motors, with the exception of my Drone Squirts, because I have these wonderful iFlight motors on here, which never get hot, but these are the same way. They come down cool to the touch, which is really reassuring. You don't want to think that to yourself like, hey, I'm putting a camera on here and I'm going to have a potential issue and maybe lose this or hurt somebody. So that is something that's really nice about this. The other thing that I really love about this is that it is very, very repairable. And we'll touch more on that here in a second. So it has 85mm ducts. It has 6-blade HQ props, which are surprisingly really quiet. Like, it's not an obnoxious CineWhoop. It doesn't sound like a tea kettle, and it just doesn't sound like a train. It's actually really quiet and makes it very enjoyable and stealthy to fly, especially if you're in an urban environment. It has an F7 processor on board. Right here on this build, this has the Hobby Wing. I think it's the 45 amp or 40 amp stack, which is more than enough for what this is doing. It's a 20x20 stack, and then it has the air unit all the way to the front, and it's running Crossfire. There's no GPS on this. I really don't need GPS on these, but if you wanted to put GPS, you certainly could. I did not ask for GPS to be installed on this particular unit. The USB port has been relocated to the rear, which I like, because this allows me quick and easy access to make changes within Betaflight if I need to. So far, I really haven't had to do much after just the initial configuration of this. I really haven't had to go into Betaflight for really anything. The air unit antennas come out the side, so you never have to worry about the battery blocking the visibility or the reception of these antennas for the air unit. So I find myself losing a lot less reception than I have with my Squirt. So that is something that I really welcome and like. I can also run larger batteries with this. So I'm running 1300s on here, but I have been known to run 1500 milliamp hour 6S batteries on this particular build. I find that the 1500 milliamp hour batteries work really well, and I get really solid flight times. It comes pre-installed with a mount for your GoPro. I'm running a Hero 10, but you can mount any GoPro that you want on here. I'm sure there's also STL files where you can print your own mount if you don't want a adjustable mount. I like the adjustable mount. It lets me choose how aggressive I want to fly. And with this, I find myself flying a little bit more aggressive than I normally would with another CineWhoop. All right, let's talk about these ducts, because these ducts are a love-hate relationship. The ones that are on here are nylon ducts, and they are a little bit stronger than these, which are ABS plastic. I would recommend that if you do decide to buy a Terraplane, that you buy yourself these ducts, because it's not something that you can print on your own. You do need to buy them, and they do break. I wouldn't say they break easy, but they do break a little bit more frequently than something like this, because this is a TPU duct. It bounces into something and typically it's fine. You may break a prop, no big deal. With these, you can break a prop and then you have to replace a duct sometimes. However, with the nylon ducts, since I've been running these nylon ducts, I have not broken any props and I haven't broken any ducts. So that is a good thing. All right, let's talk about the repairability and why I'm choosing to replace my Shendrone squirt with the Terraplane. If we turn it upside down, you'll notice that the arms are now removable. If we look at the bottom of the Shendrone squirt, the Shendrone squirt has sort of like this unibody frame, which it's been fine and it's like tested and proven and everybody loves this design. However, it's because of this unibody design that I have to go away from this. I keep finding myself breaking these frames, just clipping something just enough and it breaks the end of these frames. You can see right here on the bottom of the Shendrone squirt, I actually have this frame broken, but I like JB welded it because I'm just too lazy to take it all apart, because it is a big process to cross everything over to a new frame. But with the Terraplane, you can simply just remove the arms and it's easy enough to replace, and then you're back up and operational, replace anything else that you're broken and you're good to go. Now on my build, Troy did add these little bumpers here, and what this does is joins these ducts together. And there's a reason behind that. It reduces some of the vibrations, because one of the downsides with the Terraplane is it has a little bit more vibration than the squirt, because the squirt has some stabilization coming from arm to arm. So with these ducts, this little crossbar here stabilizes the frame and reduces some of that vibration that can be introduced. So in order to make this as close to perfect as possible, they added these little pieces here to join these ducts together. And so far it works really well. I am still running the factory tune. I haven't even put my rates on here. I've just left his rates that he shipped it with on here. And personally, I think it's operating and performing as I would expect. I've been using this on a couple of commercial shoots already. Take a look at some of these clips from here. So yeah, like I said, I'm incredibly impressed with this particular build. I have really no complaints. And the fact that it just performs like a 5-inch, but in a small CineWhoop package, to me is pretty impressive. And it's probably one of the biggest reasons why I'm using this and transitioning over to this particular platform officially and basically full time now, is because it is so robust. And I know if I break something, I can get back up in the air quicker than I could with the Shendrone Squirt. I'm likely going to be fielding a second one of these, so I always have two to go with. I mean, it's really hard to improve on this. I mean, the ducts are what they are, but I mean, for something that you can fly outside, be safe around people, I mean, that's sort of priceless. And the fact that I still have that flexibility to pull off some of the maneuvers that you typically couldn't do with the CineWhoop and only can do with a 5-inch is really, really important. All right, that's gonna do it for this video review. If you are interested in one of these, there will be a link down below. It is not an affiliate link. Like I said, I paid for this. He has no idea I'm even making this video. And to be quite honest, you know, like, I didn't get a discount on this thing. I mean, it was full price. And matter of fact, actually everything I've bought from him has been full price. Why do I keep doing that? It's good product, right? But anyways, if you're interested, click the link down below. Help support a small business and somebody who's making really great products for these. He also offers something called Standard Labs Refresh. So if you break something and you want to have it fixed, you can just send it back to them and have them fix it. Sort of like DJI Care Refresh, but his version of that, which I think is worth it if you're somebody who doesn't want to take the time to build something. Most importantly, you don't know how to fix it if you have an accident. I mean, those are some of the benefits of going with you know, a company like this. All right, that's gonna do it. I'll see you in the next video. Stay original.
I heard they checking for me, no one checking on me, so I had to go run up a check. I got the message on me, ain't no flexing on me, my attorney gon' call and collect. Blessings on blessings for me, my successes only made them envious, they got upset. I had to put all their egos in check. I want the money, the power, respect, and